we'll wait and see who comes back.
Are they gonna get like a notification or something?
Yeah, they'll get a notification that we went live again, but we get it all. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's all good.
Just trying to do something nice.
Well, somebody's here. We trickled over. The missus hit a button.
I didn't mean to. I was trying to do something nice and it backfired.
So we'll wait and see if anybody catches up here, but we don't hit buttons on the phone that we are recording with. You can hit buttons on your phone right there.
So what do I do? Okay, fine. Fine. Lesson learned.
So we'll see who shows back up here, but if nobody shows back up in a few minutes, and we'll pack it up and we'll head out. You're in the wrong chat right there, I believe. Sorry guys. Hey, Ben's Firewood. We were live. We got a super chat. The wife got excited and hit the thumbs up for it and locked us out. So we're gonna leave that phone alone. She's got her phone now. We'll let her push all the buttons she wants on that one.
I made a mistake. I'm very sorry.
It's all right. You're cute. We'll let it slide.
Don't know how many times I have to say I'm sorry, but I'm sorry.
Hey, Big Chevy.
Who's Big Chevy?
Big Chevy is one of our Firewood customers. He actually lives about 45 minutes away, and he travels up here to get wood out of our racks.
Nice. Well, thank you for your business, Big Chevy.
Yeah, up in the Northwoods, we got it working again. We're not going to touch the phone we're recording with anymore.
Not going to touch the phone.
She's got her phone right here. She can do whatever she'd like there.
I'm not a techie person. I don't even pretend to be.
But we did get a super chat, and that was pretty cool. And thank you, Heath, for the gas money. So that'll certainly help out, and we'll go from there. Yes, Denny Hart, a good woman is hard to find for sure, and we'll keep this one around for a while, because if she puts up with me, she's got to be pretty awesome.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I see Kevin Violet commented, but it hasn't come up there. So Kevin's watching while he's at work, so he must kind of have us on autopilot while he's gone and working.
Hi, Kevin.
So anyway, I was talking about the new Allwood splitters and the stuff that's coming with that. We've got some advancements and some new machines coming. Yeah, Heath just messaged and said he broke our live. I think it was a combination of you and Amber.
It was me. It was not you. It was 100% me. I broke it.
So
I take responsibility.
That's okay. You can break the live. It's all good. But we've got 25 people back in here, so everybody's kind of cycling back in. They figured out that nothing was happening on the other one, so they're coming back. But yeah, anyway, Allwood released a brand new Birch series. Super King Anthony. I don't think Shive's in here, but yeah, Ben's Firewood. That Birch series is going to be an awesome splitter. That's a really nice commercial grade entry level splitter, and that's really got a lot of bells and whistles for the money. $69.50 for the first 10 that are sold, and then it's going to go up to $7,500 after that. So we're gonna try to get a few of those moved out and then see how those go. But 4-second cycle time, 4-way hydraulic adjusted wedge, log lift, Honda GX engine. Can't ask for much better than that. That's 4-second cycle time is just about as good as what I had with my Musclewood when it was new. Yeah, that is a good price for sure, Ben. So you've got hockey this weekend.
Yes, I'm on hockey duty.
You've got UMaine hockey this weekend, so I'm going to miss the college game.
Yep. We're big UMaine. I mean, in my practice too, we love the UMaine team. We're gonna,
Yep.
I think, gonna be able to do some more stuff with them in the near future, which I love. So.
Hey, good night in the Northwoods. Appreciate you stopping by. Heath's back. We're not touching anything on the phone we're recording with this time, Heath. She has her phone. She can do whatever she wants in the live chat there.
Yes. Very sorry, Heath.
Hey, Robert Daigle, I got your text message just a little bit ago. I'll text you back after we get off this call. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I'll message you back when we get done with this live. So the Musclewood splitter is going to be a new wedge design. It came out at Bunyan. It's a tool-free wedge change, so we can go from a 4-way to a 6-way wedge in about 5 seconds with no tools. So it's going to really change how we're able to operate in my wood yard especially. We don't run a lot of really big oversized stuff, so that's going to basically let us split probably 80% of what we get in a single push. Turtlewood, how's it going, buddy? That's from Hardwood Sticks. They've got the longest bin on YouTube right now. If you haven't been watching their progress, I've been watching them fill that bin for a while now on their videos, and those guys are great. They're always up to something. Yeah, Denny Hart, it's going to be a huge time saver. Derek stuff, how many loggers bring us logs? I buy all of my logs from 2 or 3 different loggers right now, one of which I've been purchasing from for probably all 10 years that I've been doing this kind of for sale firewood, and another one that we've came to start buying from about 5 years ago. And then my friend Johnny, who has the mechanical logging crew, he's separating some really nice firewood for us, and we're gonna really enjoy that stuff because he's picking the cream of the crop. It's gonna be perfect size for this new splitter. So once Gramp cuts it, it's a single push and it's on the truck and gone. So Denny Hart, truckload depends. A pulp truckload right now is running about $1,300, and a tractor trailer is running about $1,700, give or take, and all depending on what it is for wood. Every once in a while we can get some of the dry cull logs from the ash mill down the road. Those are a little more expensive, but they're splitting out under 20% moisture content, so it's seasoned in log form, which is really cool. How do you feel about seasoned firewood?
I like it. Keeps my house warm.
Yeah. So that's actually some of the ash that's behind us on the wood rack there. I bring it in and I dry the surface moisture off it. It's just a little bit, and then it's all checked up and dry and ready for the stove. Shotlift Family Firewood. Good evening, Brian. Good to see you. Yeah, she puts up with me, Derek. I put her on the spot on purpose just to see what I can get for a response every once in a while.
Well, I mean, like I said, I grew up with firewood. I mean, you and I don't do a super good job. I mean, it's kind of like the carpenter's house that's undone. You know, like we usually are falling a little short on the firewood. So I prefer seasoned firewood, but you know, the ash is nice. I'm really loving some of the saw logs and stuff that you're getting when you use your lumber. Oh gosh, what am I thinking of?
The sawmill?
The sawmill.
Yeah.
I know, it's exciting.
We geez, wood guys are the best guys. Didn't you know that?
Wood guys are the best guys. I get a lot of my, you know, because I have a business, and a lot of times people, you know, I get to know my patients, and people ask, what's your husband do? I'm like, my husband's a lumberjack. And they kind of chuckle, but I'm like, no, it's true. I married a lumberjack.
Foothills Firewood. Britt, how's it going, bud? I got the boss here with me tonight, so I should be able to keep going. We already booted out of one live, so if you were in that one, you came back, we appreciate you coming back.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry. I don't do YouTube very often.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do the live just to let everybody kind of know what my schedule is going to be. I'm leaving tomorrow, sometime around probably 9-10 o'clock at night, and I'm going to drive through to Michigan. I should be there noontime-ish, and then I've got a series of stops that we're going to do a whole bunch of stops along the way. I've got a few channels that we're going to stop and see. We're going to demo the machine, but the whole reason I did my very first live is because I wanted to go live once I got the machine, so that I could do a walkthrough and a walk around with it and show everybody what the machine is and just kind of go. Brian Mullet. Hello, fellow firewood friend. Yeah, always get the second one for sure. We do better on the second one. Turtlewood, when are you guys coming to Maine? Are you coming to the logging show? You're buying a log splitter in 2 months. You're not coming to buy my new splitter, are you? Oh, well, if you want the biggest and fastest one we have, shoot me an email. My email's in all my videos. Shoot me an email. We can get you set up with a musclewood like I got. All right, you can just watch now. That's awesome. Hearthaven Firewood. How you doing, David Peckham? Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the road trip, but they're saying we got some snow, lake effect snow in New York area, so we may have to take a little detour around. But we'll find our way and we'll get there. Yeah, Britt's saying that he was looking up the main species of firewoods because Britt does this firewood identification thing. He has so many different types of wood in North Carolina that we don't have. I'm kind of jealous of Britt's wood.
I see. All right.
I mean, I don't know.
It kind of sounds like a personal problem.
It kind of is a personal problem for me, mostly because Britt has more wood than I do.
Well, why don't you go visit Britt?
Well, I think that he's on our list of stops, actually. He may be one of our stops, so you may see us in Britt's yard, and I might get to play with some of that wood that he's got down there, so that'd be pretty cool.
I think you should. Go play with your friend's wood. Have fun.
Yeah, ash is cash for sure, Brian Mullet. It's the same thing up here. When we get ash in, it's in and out just about as quick as you can go. And David Peckham, you are 100% right. You can never have too much firewood. The right amount of firewood is more.
Yes.
Well, Turtlewood, I look like a lumberjack. I wear the suspenders because nobody wants to see me pulling my pants up all day long. It's not good.
Nobody wants that.
Shibe, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. Brandon Hode, how do you order merch? Well, I am working on setting up like a Shopify store that will be hooked to our YouTube channel. It's a work in progress. I've been kind of picking away at it here and there. So we should have something pretty quick. And if not, shoot me an email. There's an email in the bottom of all of the videos, and we can get you what you need that way as well.
Are you going to do custom suspenders?
We are going to sell the Willey's Firewood suspenders. I've had a bunch of people ask about them, and I can make that happen. I have connections.
You know a guy?
I actually know a girl.
All right, perfect.
Yep, she does a pretty good job because she made mine and I like them, so. But,
excellent.
Yeah, so Friday we'll be in Michigan. Saturday and Sunday and Monday, I'm making some special stops. Not saying what the first stop is yet because there's a whole bunch of stuff going with that stop and there's timing and everything involved and I'm just not sure how it's going to work out. But we'll do whatever we can. Ron Brooks, good evening. Good to see you. Kevin Violet, you want one. What do you want?
Do you want suspenders?
I can get you suspenders so you don't have to pull up your pants. Nobody wants that either. I thought you were supposed to be working anyway, Kevin.
Shh, don't tell on him.
Yep, Kevin's supposed to be working, but he's not.
Don't tell on him. We won't tell anybody, Kevin.
Yadkin Valley, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Supposed to be snowy here in Massachusetts on Monday. Yeah, you guys are going to get the snow, but it's going to miss us up in Maine, I guess. I've been watching the weather to see because I plow snow, so depending on what the weather does is going to depend on my trip and how quick I have to get back. My wife would probably like me back sooner than later, or she may let me stay out a little longer. I don't know.
I am not worried about you. You go have all the fun that you want.
I'm working though. It's work.
But you enjoy it.
Well, if you enjoy it, it's not really work though, is it?
That's what I'm saying.
I see.
You have a lot of people who want to meet you. So I think you can go and have fun and come back. You're already leaving me at the most busiest hockey weekend of the year, so.
Brandon Hode had to plow this morning. I haven't had to plow for a few days now. I had to plow Saturday night before I went to deliver the Allwood on Sunday morning. And that's been the last time that I've been out. I'm meeting people in Michigan, Ohio, North Carolina, Vermont, and possibly Pennsylvania, all depending, Shibe. So we're going to kind of be all over. It's going to be a whirlwind trip, but I want to make as many stops as I can so that we can get this Allwood splitter, this new musclewood, shown to as many places as we can. The shows, as far as shows go, we're still setting a show schedule up for this year. I know the first show that we're going to do is going to be the International Firewood Expo at Joe's in Ohio. And I'm going to talk to Bobby when we get out there at Allwood, and he's going to work out some logistics, and we're going to figure out what's going on there. I'll probably fly down for that show. I know the Bangor show is just a couple of weeks after that, so I'm hoping to have 2 or 3 machines myself to go to that show for the Allwood booth.
And we'll drive to that one.
We'll drive to that one. It's 15 minutes away, so I'll probably be okay. And then in October, we've got Bunyan, and this lady right here beside me, Shibe, for guys like you and me that like to drink a little too much, she's going to bring all kinds of stuff for IV hydration therapy, and she's going to have all the stuff she needs to get us back up and firing on all cylinders in the morning when we have a little too much fun at night. So she'll be all set up, and we'll have all the stuff so that anybody that has a little too much fun, we'll get it taken care of.
You'll feel so much better. Do the people know that that's what I do for a living? Or are you just like telling them I'm some sketchy lady that's
tell the people what you do for a living so they don't think you're some sketchy lady.
I'm not a sketchy lady. I am a nurse practitioner, and I have my own business where I see people for weight loss and also for IV hydration, vitamin supplementation, and all that good stuff. So we do, the IVs are clutch. When you are planning on drinking a little too much, we can get you taken care of. You'll feel a million times better in the morning.
Heath, it's like recharging the batteries in about 45 minutes. Really nice.
It's pretty impressive.
Shibe's in the Army, so he says he's a pincushion with the medics in his unit, so he'll let you poke him.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good at it now, so.
Nathaniel, eating that rack beside the fire right there is an awesome way to dry wood. We bring it in from the garage, and it sits on that rack for probably 3 to 4 days before we put it in the stove. And in 3 to 4 days, both ends are completely checked up. When we split it, it's bone dry. It really makes a good difference in the wood in the stove because you get some moisture. The garage isn't heated, so. Will says he got blood panels before Bunyan, and let your kidneys tell you. So if you're gonna get blood work done to see how much you can actually drink before you go to Bunyan, you probably may have a little bit of an issue. Ron Brooks has a question for you because you're the doctor. Do you have a cure for staying up all night?
So I actually do have some tricks up my sleeve for sleep stuff. Yeah, absolutely I do. Yeah. I have a lot of supplements in my office, and I partner with a company called Symbiotica, and we have a great sleep supplement that is just amazing. And I have restless legs, and I have discovered I have this product called the magnesium butter, and I put it on my feet, and I don't kick anymore. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing, because she would mule kick me in her sleep, and it's not the most pleasant thing when you're just getting hunkered down and cozy, because I'm kind of like Shibe. He says 3 hours a night's all you need. I need a little more than 3 hours a night, but I don't need much more than that.
I need like a solid 7. 7 to 8, preferably 10. But I don't ever get that anymore. I've never been somebody that can sleep for 3 hours and call it a day. I get real cranky.
So Ken from Ken's Cuts, I believe it was, asked where we were going in North Carolina. Britt, where is it that you are in North Carolina again? Chris Avelia, the Bangor show is May 16th and 17th.
I should put that on my calendar.
You should put that on your calendar.
Okay, what's going on? I mean, we're very busy people, so hockey should be done by then. So
Clemens, North Carolina. So Clemens, North Carolina is where we will be making a pit stop because I want to see all those different types of wood that Britt has, and I want to see how the Allwood does with them.
is it 17th and 18th?
16th and 17th.
It's a Friday.
It's a Friday and a Saturday.
Okay. Bunyan. Not Bunyan.
David Peckham, we'll see you when you come to the show then. No, it's the Northeast Logging Expo.
Okay.
Yeah, they say that that's ADHD or anxiety or a combination of the two if your mind is racing and you can't sleep. And I
Yes.
probably have diagnosed conditions or undiagnosed conditions of those, but I deal with it. And there are nights
you?
that, well, I do. There are nights that I don't sleep very well, but there are other nights that I sleep really well. I find that if I really just work and just am tired, I can go to bed. But if I'm not really tired, then whoa, it's a chore. Skeeter camps. Well, if I do end up there on Monday, like I said, I'll be posting my trip. I'm sure that if you wanted to come over and check out the Allwood, it will be there and you can come over and check it out. I think once people see this Allwood and they see it run, there's going to be a waiting list for these and the lead time is probably going to go up significantly for sure.
You guys definitely want to get ahead on it because it's, I mean, I don't know much about these things, but I know that the splitter that Russ has had for the last, gosh, how long have you had it? Like
3 years.
3 year, 4. Yeah, I thought it was closer to
No, 3.5.
3 to 4 years. It has been.
Now
like,
look,
I'm
you
not
see that?
gonna,
We
I'm
just
not
got
gonna touch
a
it.
super chat from Shibe. Don't touch it.
I'm not gonna touch it. Thank you, Shai.
Shibe, we appreciate that very much, brother. I appreciate that.
But like the Allwood splitters, I mean, he's really used it. He's run a lot of hours on it, and those machines are incredible. And they're even easy enough that even I can run it. So like that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that one, when we got it, we thought it was really fast. Jeremiah, are you coming to Hoosier Firewood Hysteria? I believe so. We're going to try to get down there. I'm going to try to bring Kevin with me. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring a splitter. It's a long way to run a splitter down, but we'll see. I'm not going to say no. Maybe we'll go to Michigan and pick up a new splitter and swing down there and then bring it home after. But yeah, we definitely want to try to get there for sure, so that we can...
How many splitters does one person need?
Well, here's my plan, okay? And I want to see how you guys feel about my plan. I haven't told her yet, but I was talking to Bobby from Allwood, and I told him it would be really cool if I could have at least one of every model splitter that he makes, and then I would just rotate them in and out of the yard as people buy them. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna go back to my question. How many splitters does one person need?
The answer is more.
Oh, look, somebody said they have 6 different ones.
So, Yadkin Valley, you're reading my mind.
Can we make some sort of deal, like for every splitter that you have, like I get like, I don't know, some like
Robert
vacation or
Daigle,
something?
I appreciate that very much. Robert just gave us $100 for gas money.
Wow, thank you, Robert.
I'll tell you right now, that is awesome. Robert, you're close. When we get that machine up here, you come on up. I'll let you split all my wood that you want for free. But no, seriously, really, really appreciate that very much.
I would give it a heart or a thumbs up, but I'm told not to touch it, so I just will do this.
So yeah, anyway, my whole process and thought process is that I want at least one, or just one, at least one, of every model splitter, and I want them set up in my yard so that if anybody wants an Allwood splitter, you guys can come up here and you can run every splitter that's here and find out which one works best for you and take it with you, and I'll just order another one. Do you guys like that approach rather than just buying something sight unseen?
Is Bobby just gonna like give them to you to have up here? Because I'm okay with that. Like if that's the case.
No.
So
No, we're gonna purchase those.
Oh. Okay. Then okay. All right. OnlyFans?
Well, I don't know if they've got a lumberjack version, but whatever works.
They should. I think they should have a lumberjack version. I think Russ should do a calendar. What do you guys think?
We should have a Men of YouTube calendar for the Woodhound community. It could be like one of those funny spoof things. I'm
here
always
for it.
game for something like that.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
Because, I mean, I saw Britt walking in his bare feet in the snow in North Carolina. I know he'd have to be up for
What?
something. Yeah, he was walking around the snow in his bare feet.
Wow. I love it. We need funny poses, and we should do like voting.
I wouldn't watch
for, like,
me on OnlyFans either, Heath. So that makes two of us. So I guess my channel's down.
We need to have like we'll like make like a posting like, okay, we're gonna vote for Mr. February or whatever. It'd be kind of funny. Or Miss February. There's Lady Lumber Jills too. So
Yeah.
I've heard Rachel from Heath and Rachel. I've heard that she. I mean, I personally don't know her, but I've heard lots from her from you about it for you. So.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
maybe she could
everybody,
be
that's
something.
why everybody watch Heath's and Rachel's channel is for Rachel. Everybody's always saying how pretty Rachel is, but nobody says how pretty Heath is.
Oh, well, I guess I need to hop on there and make some comments as to how pretty Heath is. Does anyone tell you how pretty you are?
Somebody that keeps commenting on the videos and tells me I need to get a Stetson cowboy hat because they think I look like Rip from Yellowstone. That is very, very, very far from the truth. So I'm sorry that you feel that way, but it's not the case.
I think we should
See,
get you a hat.
Shibe says Heath is a pretty man.
All right, but he
So-
also has like 7 laughy face emojis, so I don't
He's-
know how serious that is.
He's just trying to really emphasize how pretty he is.
Oh, I see. Well, oh look, here's the cat.
Yeah, there's the lumber cat up on the table right where she doesn't belong.
Yeah, she's getting comfy.
Yeah, Clayton Blunt, that is absolutely true. Beauty is in the eye when you behold her. So it's definitely up to you. And Robert Daigle says that Heath is wicked cute too. So I mean,
I love the Wicked. I
Heath
can
is,
tell you're a Mainer.
yeah,
Wicked.
he's right down in Hamden. He's
Love
not far from us
it.
at all. So
Oh, nice.
Heath, you're getting some fans right here. I mean, they're all telling you how great you are. Jeff Penny commented on our last live, and he said that we had too many devices open. That's why we had that feedback.
Well, that was your fault. That wasn't my fault. You told me to open up my phone on YouTube, so.
I did tell her that, so it may be my fault. Glowing Firewood, how you doing? Good to see you stopping by.
Kind of glowing like our skin, like we're.
Right. So, Heath, have you figured out what you guys are going to get for a splitter yet? I know you sold your Allwood too. Are you staying with Allwood? Are you switching teams? What's going on? Yeah, Heath said you just needed to mute your device. You had it on for the volume, so.
He had it on for the volume.
Not Heath, but Shibe.
Thank you, Shibe. We'll remember that for next time.
And if you want to know how to find Shibe whenever we go to any of these events, look for the guy with the Miller Lite can
Okay.
and a cigarette going all the time. That's Shibe,
All right.
because you can't miss him.
Okay.
Good trip to Cave. Oh, it's just there. Then went to Colfax. Oh, he's got some new equipment arriving tomorrow. Aha. Well, that's cool. He scared me with a felling video. I was watching Heath's felling video and I was cheering for him, and I was also hoping that he didn't take the power lines out. I know Heath likes to take risks, and when I saw that the bottom of that tree was hollow, I was like, whew, that was crazy. Yeah, Ron Brooks, I could get one of those hats and put the Allwood symbol right in the middle of it for sure. It would be good advertising.
That's a
He's
good
thinking
idea.
now. So
I
who
like
can
that.
get me a Stetson hat and put the Allwood logo in the middle of it? I'll wear it.
I like it. I mean, you've got those like composite toe cowboy boots. I mean,
So what you're telling me, Heath, is that you took power lines out a couple years ago and you didn't learn, so you tried it one more time to see if you got better with it? Yeah, TJ Stone, you can listen for him. Yeah, you'll hear him for sure. Shive says Heath is a professional power line remover at least once. I tried to cut a mini excavator bucket with a chainsaw today too. So Heath sounds like he does a lot of the same stuff I do. He likes to break stuff.
Yeah.
I've broken a few things over time.
You've done a lot of personal growth though, because it used to be that he'd come home and something would be broken and he'd be like, rah, 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 and he'd be all grumpy and pissed off at the world. And I'm like, listen, if you're going to work in the woods and you're going to work with equipment, shit's going to break. So we got to change our attitude and just go with it. And you have a lot of personal growth. So
I have. I've really, wait,
look.
There's a kid in the background with a Willey's Firewood shirt on.
The youngest Willey.
You want to come say hi? Stand right in between us and you can get there. Say hi, Richard.
Nice shirt.
Hey guys.
There's a guy on here that says he's really digging the flow of your mullet.
Yeah, turn around and show him.
Yeah, that's it. Wave that mullet around.
Yes,
there you go.
flow.
Yeah, see that flow right there.
Yes.
Everybody's saying howdy, Richard.
I told him that Dad's going on a road trip this weekend, but you and I are on hockey duty. So,
Man,
yeah.
everybody's cheering your haircut on, Richard.
Woo!
So,
He's the coolest kid, like, hands down. Very cool kid.
My dad calls me.
no,
a horse
I'm not
all
going
the
to beat
time.
Lager Jason glowing firewood. We're going to be on here for probably another 20-25 minutes or so, and that's going to be it. Kevin t-shirts, yep. Well, it's funny you should say that. We will have some interesting news coming up. The people that bought our Allwood splitter, they have an embroidery shop and a t-shirt shop, and they sent me some stickers to go along with Kevin's stuff today. And we'll have some stickers that are going to be part of our Kevin Club that we talked about in the last live. And that'll be in our shop when we get our shop going too. So it's going to be pretty cool. You had somebody else too that says you're rocking it, Richard. They like the hair, buddy.
I just went to get my mullet grower.
Mullet grower.
Oh, Shibe says that they had a mullet contest at the farm show in Harrisburg the last few years, Richard. We might have to go to Harrisburg so you can enter the mullet contest.
Well, every year his hockey team, Brewer Youth Hockey, does a contest called the Golden Comb, and whoever has the most impressive mullet wins the Golden Comb. So
That sounds sweet.
yeah, that's
Bill Safarski, you are absolutely right. If you don't break something at some point, you're not working hard enough, and especially with firewood. Because of how we use these machines and because of what they actually do for us and how hard we use them, they break and they're gonna break. So for some of these guys to say because they had a commercial log splitter and it broke that it's junk, you gotta look at how many cords of wood these things have produced. You gotta look at what you're trying to split for firewood and, you know, take that into perspective. Richard, Heath says that he had a mullet a few years back, but you do it better. So you're getting all kinds of fans here now, Richard.
Well, one of my friends at school. He
Yeah,
has a
sweet.
mullet.
That's right. That's one of Kevin's phrases for sure, Shibe. It's sweet and yup. And now he started saying nope, and we've got to stop him from saying nope because if he gets too much of a vocabulary, we're not going to be able to do all the merchandise. But he's a man of few words for sure.
And then there's also another word that I can't say that he says.
The sunken grave. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you stop by. We're just we're doing a quick live here and just kind of going along. We got Richard with his mullet, and you want to go take care of the dog, please?
see what she's woofing
See what
at.
she's woofing at. So, I think the plan is right now, as it stands, I'll be in Michigan Friday. I'm gonna stay in Michigan, or in the general vicinity of Michigan, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then after that we're gonna jeez. After that we're gonna head to North Carolina, and after North Carolina then we're gonna end up in Vermont, possibly, all depending. There's gonna be a few pieces depending there, and we'll go from there.
You need to get some baseball caps.
I do need to get some baseball caps. I need to get a lot of things, but they cost money, and we do this in baby steps.
Yes, I know all about that.
So,
It's
I'm not going to Canada this time, but I have a trip that may be requiring me to go to Canada shortly. Bill Safarski, is Gramp going to get his own ported saw? We're going to send the 7310 out in the spring when we get a little more money coming in regularly. And I'm going to send that out to Donnie Walker, and I'm going to get it walkerized and see if we can wake that up. Gramp just really wasn't happy with the 7310 compared to his 372s that he's running. Larry Terrell going to Clemens, North Carolina. We're going to go see Foothills Firewood and planning on being there Monday.
Matt, come here. Wanna go out?
How's your guys' night going?
Make sure you don't take I-40 between Knoxville and North Carolina. Well, that's a good tip right there, Ken. I'll have to make sure that I keep that in mind as I'm running my trip and figuring out what's going on.
Does anyone remember MapQuest? Remember when we had to like print out like all
I've seen movies of
the like you'd have to put in your address and you have to like print out and you'd have like pages and pages and pages. I'm so glad we don't do that now.
Yeah, now we have it on our phone and your wife reads the directions and still gets you lost.
I am not a good navigator. There are lots of things that I'm decent at. I am not good at navigating. So it is what it is.
It happens.
Yeah. We all have
So-
strengths.
So
That's
yeah.
not one of mine.
So Canada is a trip that we're going to take at some point, Heath, but it's probably going to be, I'm going to say closer to May. And then we'll go see what we've got going on up there. There's a couple of different things we're going to go check on up there. And who knows how that's going to pan out just quite yet. Yeah, Shane, Google does work for sure.
Yeah. I hate it when it's like you think you're on target though, and then Siri says rerouting, and I'm like, I missed a turn somewhere.
Yeah, or you were supposed to turn half a mile before and you're asking your wife which way to turn while you're in 4 lanes of traffic, and then it says rerouting, so you know you already missed your turn.
You guys want to hear something really funny about Russ? You know what really stresses him out?
Oh yeah.
Ordering at a drive-thru. Like going to McDonald's and like the guy gets
Oh my
so
God.
anxious and angry when we don't like know exactly what we want, and he's just like stressing out about it. I'm like, dude, it's McDonald's. Take a chill pill.
Well,
It's
the
like
thing
you can
is,
go
you
back
go to the
around.
same fast food restaurant your whole life. How do you not know what you want when you get there? And then you get there and you ask everybody what they want, and they're like, And meanwhile, she's like, hey, can I take your order? And there's cars behind you. It's fast food. You're supposed to know what you want and go.
Listen, nothing about fast food is fast. You can just say, can I have a moment, please? And they'll be like, sure, let me know when you're ready. Oh, look, someone else says, me too, Russ, it's a guy thing. Okay, must be a guy thing.
Brandon Hode, Burger King, absolutely. I'd much rather Burger King than McDonald's for sure.
I used to work at Burger King. That was
Yeah.
my first job.
She used to smell like
So it's not just me then, Heath. Heath has a buddy that panics at drive-thrus. So
I didn't know this type of social anxiety existed. I'm so glad that we're talking about this. You're
Yeah.
not alone, honey.
yeah, I know, Heath. I've kind of come to realize that a lot of us Firewood guys are a lot alike. When I go down and see Phil and Karen at Allen Family Firewood, Phil and I think if we spent too much time together, we'd probably break everything or buy everything, one of the two. So it's definitely a guy thing in the Woodhound community for sure. Yeah, I'm not a huge fast food fan myself. I'd much rather have something at home, but just depending on what's going on and everything, sometimes it doesn't work.
The flow's growing.
The flow is growing.
Yeah, I think you're right, Heath. I think that is kind of what drives us is the anxiety and the ADHD.
He has a lot of ADHD.
It keeps us moving. Sometimes I'll find myself starting projects, and once I get started, I start something else, and I never really finish what I started. And when I look back at the end of the day, I'm like, holy cow, all I did was make a whole bunch of half-finished projects.
Sweet.
So, yeah, it's definitely something.
They make pills for that.
No. It's sweet.
Well, 515 homesteaders, it's not me that spends money. So when we're actually talking about who spends the money in the family, it's the lady sitting down beside me
That's
right here.
definitely me.
And me.
I'm cheap. I'm very cheap, and I will be the first one to tell you that I'm cheap, and I don't like to spend money. So
He bought a $2,500 tractor.
yeah, my last tractor I bought was $2,500. So I know they make brand new tractors, but I bought one that was a 1960 something because
And it's still not
I don't want
here.
to spend money, and it's still not here. It's still at my friend's. I got to go pick it up. So
Why do we buy things and then we don't bring them home?
it's just one of those things. Time gets away from you.
This is true. Richard, you should go see what
Yeah,
the dog's
see,
doing
Heath,
that way.
you understand exactly what I'm saying. Jason Lee, I see you waving, buddy. How you doing?
Rachel's right. It does give you a dopamine rush.
See, so there's another spender talking to you, Heath. I'm not a spender. It stresses me out to spend money. I don't like money. I don't like spending it. I hate spending money. So, first show, I believe, is Hoosier Firewood Hysteria in April. And then, no, Heath, you should not buy more. And then after that, we've got the International Firewood Expo in Ohio at Joe's. Like I said, I'm going to try to get Kevin and I to Hoosier. The only show that Gramp will be at will be the show in Bangor, the 16th and 17th of May. And he'll only be there for a few hours in the morning. He doesn't leave my grandmother for very long because my grandmother's health isn't good. So we're planning on having him probably there 2 or 3 hours in the morning. We're going to try to do a woodyard day either before or after the show here at our place for like a meet and greet and a barbecue.
Barbecue!
And all that stuff. There's
all
40
you
acres
guys
next
have
door and
fun.
lots of mosquitoes and black flies. So if anybody wants to pitch a tent or something like that, you're more than welcome. But the bugs get pretty bad here in the spring, so you're on your own.
And I know that because I've literally got rashes from it. And if you haven't heard of no-see-ums, they're very, very itchy.
Yeah, the no-see-ums or the mingies, whichever they want to call them, those are pretty rough little critters. You can't really see them, but man, oh man, it's just they're brutal.
Just like horseflies.
So, Brianna, you said you love to spend and give money away. I want to tell you about a group of businesses in my local area and what they do for Christmas every year. They do a Christmas breakfast, and they'll go to a restaurant. And there's like 30 businesses that show up, and every business that shows up tips a $100 bill to the waiter or the waitress that they have. They tipped $3,700 to a waitress this past Christmas, and there was a bunch of them that didn't get to go, so they went out a different time, and there was a different group that went out, and they did another $1,700 tip for somebody. So the local businesses around here, we all try to help out when we can, and it's one of those things where you can give back a little bit. I know the one that got the larger tip for the first one, she was pregnant and was absolutely thrilled. She was really, really thankful for that. So I agree, Heath. I like tipping big too if I can, or I'll buy somebody's dinner. I like buying an older couple's dinner. If I see an older couple sitting somewhere, I like to buy their dinner for them if I can.
I feel like it's important to give back if you can, because I always have that philosophy that you never know when you might be the one that needs help. So it's important to give back if you can. I worked in my previous job before I opened my own clinic. I worked with folks in recovery and experiencing a lot of homelessness, and there's a lot of people going through a lot of shit.
Richard.
So it's important to, I used to take food and everything into my office and have it go to like the right people directly to them. So it's important to give if you can.
Don't play with candles. We're not doing a romantic live.
Or else there would be tons of romantical stuff.
Yeah. So somebody asked why my accent wasn't as big as Phil's accent from Allen Family Firewood. I have an accent at times, but it's not as noticeable, I guess. Not sure why that is. Maybe he's a little further south, but there are some serious Maine accents and wicked good stuff up here in Maine if you listen real good, the idea. But
Different dialects.
there's you get down on the coast and some of those Maine accents, man, it makes us sound like serious rednecks and hillbillies, but it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
So, in my videos, when I say help someone if you can, that just kind of goes along with that tipping stuff. And, I like to help if I can. And everybody works hard. If you've got something and you can help, that's a good thing to do it. Carson Matters, new subscriber from Lubec, Maine. Well, welcome and
Oh, speaking
good
of
to
the
see
coast.
you. Yeah, we were just talking about the coast and Maine dialects with the accent. They wanted to know why I didn't have that wicked good Maine accent, bud. Yes, bud. That's right. Big Chevy knows. He knows all about it. I try to talk in ways that people will understand me. I think if I got together with some of my friends from around this area, we could be all stove up and stuff like that, but you guys wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. All stove up means that you crashed something or you broke it. So
I was just going to ask you, what's something that your grandfather used to say when you were a kid? My grandfather, used to say, got a wicked jag on it. So if something was way down, he'd say it has a wicked jag.
yeah, my grandfather always said you get what you pay for. That was something I always remember my grandfather saying when I was a kid. He'd always say you get what you pay for. I'd buy something cheap and it would break or whatever, and he'd just shake his head and he'd tell me you get what you pay for. So that's what I remember from him.
My mother used to say, "You lie like a rug."
You lie like a rug,
You
yeah.
lie like a rug.
Something that my grandfather still says to me is, "Yes, a bud."
Yeah, yes,
Yep,
bud.
yes, a bud.
Yep.
Yeah. I've not tried the deep fryer for wax yet, Bill Safarski. I looked for one. I went into Goodwill a couple of different times to see if I could find one, and they didn't have any. But I've been on the lookout. I haven't looked at Marketplace. I should probably just look at Marketplace and go there. Jason Lee, I can't wait to see the new splitter either. I've only seen just a clip and a couple of dry cycles through the machine that they sent to me, but I've been seeing it in my sleep. And since I've been swinging an axe by hand and I've split over 3 cord by hand so far this week, I hurt where my abs should be. And I'm kind of fluffy, so I know they're under there because everything hurts a little bit, but I'm really, really looking forward to being able to run levers again.
Run levers or run levers.
Brandon says, "My Gramp said I'll give you a quarter." Your grandmother used to say, "Go count mufflers."
Yeah, my grandmother used to tell us, go count mufflers. that or she'd tell us that she'd write us a book. If we were bugging her and she didn't want us to listen or eavesdrop anymore, she'd tell us to go away and she'd write us a book.
I love it. Oh my gosh.
Carson Matter said his grandfather used to say, never leave the hen house door open when you still owe for the eggs. Well, that's a pretty good one right there. I like that.
Yeah.
That's nuttier than squirrel shit is what I remember saying around here, Shotlift Family Firewood. I like that.
That's a good one.
Nuttier.
Hearth Haven, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up with the beast. I think it's going to take at least a couple of people to feed that and keep it going, but we've got some plans in the works to help out with that, so it's going to definitely be a different thing. We've talked a lot about safety. The speed of this machine, you don't want your hands anywhere near it. This machine is going to be absolutely
Speaking of
nasty
you.
to run. See you later, Jason Lee. I appreciate you stopping by, buddy.
Dad, who needs to keep their hands away from it?
Well, everybody needs to keep their hands away from it.
What happened to your hands?
I have.
We already talked. You missed it. We already talked about that. Did you tell him this? Did you tell him how much your pinky was worth?
Yeah. So okay, talk about health insurance. I cut the tip of my pinky off. Okay, right there. I cut about a knuckle and a half off, and that's about a $7,000 pinky. So keep your fingers out of the way because they're expensive. So again, my other grandfather used to say, don't put your finger where you wouldn't put your pecker. So that's a pretty good rule because it's going to hurt. So don't put it somewhere that you don't want it to be.
I was thinking more so with we belong to a credit union, and we were reading like the fine print, and if he had lost his thumb, he would have got a check for $25,000. If he had
Next
lost,
time,
if
lose
he
your thumb.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my thumb.
if he had lost his index finger, it would have been $10,000. These 3 fingers, nothing.
Yeah, so we have like accidental insurance on our loans through the credit union and things like that for a mortgage and all that stuff. And basically these 2 fingers right here are the only ones that matter. These ones here, they're not worth anything.
Yep.
Well, these are the only 3 that you need to hold your pencil with.
Carson Matthews, I appreciate you watching the videos, bud.
Good point,
That's
Rich.
one of the things that I love the most is being able to work with my grandfather every day. I am so fortunate and blessed every time that every time that he comes over and helps out, and I really enjoy working with him. And it's amazing the speed that he can still work at 78 years old. He's an absolute animal. He gets his saw in his hands, and it's one of those things, he gets excited and just lets it go. Yeah. Combined insurance for sure. Yeah, Robert Daigle. That's another good one too. I've heard that a lot around here. Geez, Bubba, come on to her and she come right around sideways. Yeah, that and cattywampus. I hear cattywampus quite a bit from older people around here, and that just means that it's not straight, that it's all crooked and not where it's supposed to be, so it's all cattywampus.
So cattywampus.
Good night, Heath. Enjoy your beauty rest. You're gonna need it, buddy.
Well, you're the bearded lady.
I'm the bearded lady. Yeah, my friend Alex calls me the bearded lady from YouTube. So that's a good one for sure.
I can't wait for the calendar to come out.
Yeah, Shotlift Family Firewood. I'm on a volunteer fire department right here in town, and I've been on the volunteer fire department for a couple of years now. They wanted me because I have a CDL. We didn't have enough drivers for the large trucks, so I drive and run pumps. I don't go into the burning buildings. I have no desire to go in and play cowboy. I will stay out, feed pumps, and hook up hoses and all of that stuff, and we'll just go and get it done. TJ Stone, Gramps is a force of nature for sure. He is just an absolute animal.
Mullet grower.
There's just so many times that I've watched him, and just I'm amazed that he does what he does, especially considering that his back is shot, his shoulders are shot, and he's 78 years old and he's still doing it. Hey, go get ready for bed, please.
Gramp got shot.
Go get ready for bed, please.
Grampy got shot.
Time to brush your teeth, bud.
Yeah, there is a job for everyone, Brian, and volunteer firefighting is a hard and underappreciated thing for sure. I know just about every volunteer fire department in the country is short-staffed and short-handed, so it's really important to help out and do what you can and make sure that you can contribute in some way. Larry Terrell has been a volunteer firefighter for 45 years. That is awesome.
Wow, that's
Thank you very much,
awesome.
Larry. That's excellent. Awesome for you. Good job, man. Yeah, Brennan Hode, it is what keeps Gramp going. So here's a funny thing about Gramp, okay? Every day he drives by my house at least 2 times a day. Once early in the morning and once in the afternoon. And every day when he drives by, he slows right down to a crawl and he turns his head and he looks to see if there's any new wood in the yard. And if there isn't, he keeps on driving. If there is, he'll pull in and he'll inspect and see what's going on, and then be back the next day at daylight to be my alarm clock. And it doesn't matter what time of year it is, it's daylight. Whatever time daylight is, about 15 minutes before it's really light enough to see, he's firing the saw up and going to town. Yeah, Big Chevy. Gramp probably does have some really amazing stories. My grandfather's probably one of the most selfless people I know. Growing up, my grandfather was a really mean man. He was very strict. He was very mean. He was not the friendliest of people for sure. About retirement time, he retired from the paper mill. They were shutting down one last time, and he wasn't going to go back again. So he found religion. And he became saved and became a Christian, and now he is the nicest guy in the entire world. And when people tell me how nice he is, I always have this grin, and they're like, "What are you smiling about?" And I'm like, "You have no idea what this man was like when I was growing up. When I was a little kid, holy smokes, he was hard on me, but it was kind of what made me into what I am today." Shotlift Family. I'm on 2 different fire departments, one of which is getting a brand new engine Friday. It's rewarding but tough sometimes. That's really awesome to get a new piece of equipment. I know we've gotten a couple of new trucks in the last 2 years, and it definitely is nice to have newer equipment that works when you need it to. So that's always a really nice thing. 902, we all mellow with age. I think that's true. My wife was talking earlier about how I used to get really wound up and excited when things broke or didn't go my way. I just deal with it now. I really do. I don't let it bother me. The other day when I backed into my wood racks and dented the side of my truck and took the taillight out, I would have had a nutty before. And all I did was get my phone out and I ordered a taillight right then, the minute that I did it. And I said, oh, well. And I kept on working.
Look, this person's dad worked at Eastern Fine Paper. My dad worked at Eastern Fine Paper
Yeah,
for a while.
So Amber's dad worked at Eastern Fine. My grandfather worked at James River in Old Town. He worked at the Old Town paper mill for 36 years. He was a millwright and a welder, and then went into heavy equipment mechanic. So he was a heavy equipment mechanic in the crane shed for the last 20 years of being at the mill. Yeah, it is the best way to handle it for sure, David. There's no sense in getting worked up over it. And even like when Kevin put the window out of the back of the truck or any of that stuff, it is what it is. Don't worry about it. Stuff's gonna happen. They say shit happens for a reason. Sorry if there's kids in here. That's just me and my language, I guess, but it happens. And when it does, you just deal with it and you move forward. And that was kind of one of the things that everybody always used to like about me in my last job. I was a general manager of a large commercial bakery. It didn't matter what was going on. I was always pretty mellow and calm, and I found I was a lot harder on myself with my personal stuff than I was with anything that went and dealt with work. So I've tried really hard to personally grow and get better about that.
I think a lot of it is, for me, because I have always struggled with anxiety too, and learning that what you can control, right?
Yep, somebody wants to see a piece of wood.
Well, we got some.
So this is ash that came from the sawmill. The end of this isn't really checked up yet.
I'm like trying to be vampy.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get stuff out of the wood box, because I rotate from the rack to the wood box when it's dry. So you hold tight and I'll get a piece and I'll show you that the ends are all checked up and dried right out.
Have you seen them, shown them our cool wood box that's behind our stove?
No.
It's pretty cool. Big Chevy says that ash is amazing.
So this stuff here, you can see the checks. This is just from sitting on that rack for 3 or 4 days before we get ready to burn it. And the other end, it's checked up too. This stuff dries right out and it burns great, so I highly recommend going to your Ocean State job lots or Costco or something like that and getting a stainless steel rack. That's stainless steel, it won't rust. Stick it next to your stove and you can do something like that, or get a decorative like black iron ring, and those rings that you stick beside the stove will hold just about as much wood. And anytime that you can get your wood in and get it done,
we have an extra one on our front porch.
Yeah, I was gonna put the extra one over the stove, but
over the stove? What do you mean?
I didn't know if it was gonna be hot enough next to the stove, so I was gonna take some shelves out and straddle the stove with it.
I don't think that's smart.
I think it was a great idea.
I don't enjoy that.
We have a spammer. I don't know if Shibe's still in here. If Shibe's in here, he's a moderator and he can block them, but I can look. If they pop back up again, Ken, I'll get rid of them. Yeah, we burn that for heat. The stuff that's behind us is what we're burning in our wood stove right now. We've got a Heritage soapstone stove, and we go through between 4 and 5 full cord of wood a year to heat the house, and we don't use any oil. If we're here and we can feed the stove, we use 0 oil. We do have forced hot air for backup, but I don't like to use the oil if I don't have to.
We haven't used it at all this year.
I don't know who that is, I guess, but that's all right. So who has big plans going on in their operation or their wood yard? What are you guys changing this year? What are you looking to change? I know for us, we're going to try to get away from some of the bulk firewood, and we're going to go to smaller splits and stuff like that. Yeah, TJ Stone, it is like a wake for the firewood, because they see the stuff that's in the wood box going into the fire, and they're just watching all their friends burn. So it's definitely a somber thing if they knew what was going on, that's for sure. All right, so I got rid of one spammer. I see what you were saying, Ken, so they're gone. WD30 is looking for a new splitter. He's done with the box store splitters. Well, I can certainly help you with that if that's the direction you want to look when you're ready, Will. You let me know. We've got options from mild to wild, so we can take care of that for sure.
That was clever. Did you just think of that?
No, that's kind of something I've been saying since I've been doing it. I sometimes I have good ideas.
Yes, you do.
Brandon Hode's hoping to get out of the same corner of the woods that he's been in for 4 years in a row now. So that's pretty awesome. Hopefully you can get out of there and find somewhere new, that's for sure. Larry Terrell uses his for personal consumption. There are a lot of guys that they just do their own firewood, and they're still part of the woodhound community. I mean, there are some guys that do their own firewood that have some really ingenious ideas and hopefully do and contribute to a lot of the stuff. Little Off-Grid Alberta, hey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope that you don't have too much snow up there. If you haven't checked out Little Griff Off-Grid Alberta, go ahead and check out his channel. He's got some really cool stuff up there. There's something about living that far out and off the grid that I just find fascinating. I know my wife wouldn't necessarily subscribe to that lifestyle, but I don't know, something about it it's always intrigued me.
I'm a big fan of like running water.
You can still have running water and be off grid. That's no problem. Lumberline Farming Country is thinking about getting into the firewood business down there in Kentucky. Well, if you happen to need commercial log splitters, you make sure you give me a shout. We can certainly set you up with everything you need to succeed in that portion for sure. Yadkin Valley's going to set up woodyard number 3. Holy smokes. 3 woodyards. I have a hard enough time keeping up with 1 woodyard.
Oh, but it's just you. Does he have any? Do you have any help? Do you have any like people like lumberjacks on staff?
Foothills Firewood, are you open to visitors when I show up? Ken's asking. Yeah, Little Griff. That was how I started. I started selling kind of offloads, and Ken, you're more than welcome. I guess get in touch with me or Britt, and we can line up a time for sure when I know when exactly I'm going to be there. Clayton Blunt, good to see you. Have a good night, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. So Yadkin Valley does have a couple of people that help him. So I got a couple of people that help me too, but I only have 1 woodyard. So I guess if you end up being down to Britt's, I'm going to pick your brain. Oh, WD-30's not going to let us go yet.
So you're a slacker is what I'm saying. Wait, I'm hearing.
It could be. It could be. It may be part of my ADHD.
Probably.
So Will says, congrats on 3.1 thousand subs. You were at 2.5 about 3 weeks ago. Love seeing the growth. And I got to tell you, I looked at my YouTube tool today, and we've picked up 700 new subscribers in the last 28 days. And that number continues to go up and still has the green up arrow. So if the green up arrow is going up on our watch time and our subscribers, it's definitely a good thing.
This guy, he said, you haven't showed me his channel because he has running water and the works at his cabin.
Yeah, so most of the time when you're sleeping and my brain isn't quiet yet, I go and watch all these guys' channels, or in the morning before you're awake because you need your 7 hours of sleep.
Yes.
I check everybody's channel out and I go through, but I will show her your stuff, Griff, and show her your cabin because you do have some really cool stuff up there for sure.
Foothills says they're going to smoke some pork and split some wood.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking my language. Barbecue and firewood. Oh,
Woo!
man.
We love barbecue.
Sign me up. 515 Homestead just uploaded their first video today. So, hey, if you guys haven't done so yet, why don't you go ahead over and check out 515 Homesteaders. I know I'm going to go over there and check up and see what's going on. That's awesome. I got to tell you guys, if you're going to do the YouTube thing, consistency is key for sure. Hey, good night, Rick. Appreciate you stopping by. Living the dream is checking out for the night. Ken wants to know if we're doing Eastern or Western North Carolina barbecue. It really doesn't matter to me because I'll eat it all, but whatever Britt's cooking is what I'm eating.
I should probably go tuck our kid in.
Yeah, probably. And we're going to get ready to go too. WD30, see you later, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Little Griff says he's 100% off grid and everything you need is in his cabin. It's built with well water, sewer, no outhouse, and maybe in his cabin this year too.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, you definitely stay busy up there. I know when you hurt your hand earlier this spring, I was definitely keeping you in my thoughts for sure. That was no fun being out there off grid and being hurt like that. It definitely slows things down for sure.
Well, I'm going to go tuck Richard in. It was really nice. Thanks for letting me sit in with you guys. And maybe I'll do it again sometime.
So does anybody have any questions for me before I tuck out and sign off for the night? Anybody need any information on splitters, equipment, firewood related stuff? Yep, Buck's Naked Barbecue is still open in Freeport, number 902. That's a pretty good place. We stop in there every once in a while. We've actually got 3 or 4 barbecue restaurants right by us in Bangor, and a couple of them are going to be customers of ours for their wood, so that's kind of cool too. Brandon Hode wants to know if I have any blisters yet. I actually have no blisters, and I don't like wearing gloves. We're just over 3 full cord that I've split by hand this week. I'm going to try to do 1 more full cord tomorrow so that we can fill up the racks before I leave. And we've got the wood that we split for the restaurant stuff. And I told Kevin that with the new splitter coming, it's going to be so much faster that use it and we'll just refill it back up because you got to do what you got to do. I'm not going to be here. Kevin's not heavy enough to swing like that, so I'm going to do what I need to do. Yeah, Skeeter Camps, I hope that you can swing by too. Like I said, stay paying attention. I'll let you know when we're going to be at Foothills Firewood, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, Hearth Haven Firewood, I'm telling you right now, if you have not checked out an Allwood splitter, I know you've seen them online. People say they're expensive. They're not. My splitter that I'm getting, my muscle wood, is $5,000 less than the 24D Easton made, and it's faster. So I don't know. I know for a fact I'm not worried one bit about how the machines are built. I ran over 2,500 full cord through my last Allwood that I had, and it was just as tight as the day that I got it. We brought it down to the island. We ran 1/3 of a cord through at the island in Islesboro when we dropped it off to the new owners, and it does the same thing that it did on the channel. It was about 15 minutes for 1/3 of a cord. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Yadkin, they're all expensive. It just depends on what you want. Ken, how am I going to promote my schedule? So what I'm going to do is on my business page, and I'll put a link to that in my next video, I'm going to have an events section. We're working on getting a web page made that's going to have all of the Allwood stuff and any of the other equipment stuff that we're going to be doing on there, and there will be an events section so that you can check and see which events we're going to be at, when, who's going to be there, if it's just going to be me, if it's going to be me and Kevin, Kevin and Gramp, all that stuff. So stay caught up for that. This whole YouTube thing has grown way faster than I ever would have thought that it did or would, and it's just a kind of a catch-up game at this point. I've got to get caught up a little bit. I'm not the most technological person. I try to do as best I can with the technology, and we're learning as we go. It's really important to me that I try to still stay true to what we're doing with the channel. This week's schedule, when I get to Michigan, I will do a live, and when I do that live, I'm going to kind of figure out, once I get to Michigan, the schedule there, and then we'll figure out where I'm going to be and what times. I've got 4 stops between Michigan and home, and we'll figure that out once I get out to Allwood and make sure that we've arrived safely and everything's okay. Hearth Haven wants to know if there's any processors in the pipeline for Allwood. There is some interesting things coming from Allwood. I don't necessarily think processors, but all I can say is there's some interesting things coming. So you're going to want to pay attention. I'll release things as quickly as I can when I get them. And I'm not going to be giving any teasers or hints to any of the stuff as it's coming. We've got so much new stuff in the works, and it's hard to tell when certain things are going to be finished. So we're going to just kind of, as we go, play it by ear, and I'll release things as quickly as I can. The Birch series splitter that we released last night, I had no idea it was even coming. And Bobby from Allwood sent me a video. He sent me a text. He says, hey, check this out. Get it out there, start spreading the word. Let's sell these things. So I didn't know it was ready. I didn't even know it was coming. It was something that I had asked him about when we were at Bunyan, and he said he wasn't sure. Yeah, 902, that birch is as fast as my musclewood was that I just got rid of. So if you're using regular firewood and you're not doing tree service stuff and you've got fairly small firewood pole size stuff, I'm honestly thinking you could get a cord and a half an hour through that with 2 guys, no problem. That birch is going to be a great splitter. It's built like a commercial splitter. It's still built out of 404 steel. So there's no wear components. Everything on that thing is made to last. It's overbuilt. You get an auto cycle. You get a hydraulic 4-way wedge. It's on a torsion axle. You've got the log lift. There's an optional 6-way wedge for it. You can't ask for much more for under $7,000. That's an amazing deal for a splitter like that. Honda engine, I mean, that's going to be a hard splitter to beat price-wise for sure with what you get for it. We do have some stuff in the works with another company, and that should be able to be released soon. And when we figure all that stuff out, we'll bring you guys along for it. It wasn't something that I was necessarily looking to do just yet. Yeah, 515 Homesteaders, I'm telling you, that splitter is going to be on fire. Once we get the videos out, this weekend I'm going to do some videos. We're going to get some videos out. We're going to do a walkthrough and a walk around on it. Really show the whole splitter off. That thing is going to be incredible. I was really excited about it. Had I known that was coming and it was going to be ready that soon, I probably would have saved a few more pennies and I would have put one in the bed of the pickup truck and pulled the musclewood home. I think that something like that, I think there's a really big demand for it, and I think that that's a great machine for Allwood to be putting out. So I think with that, unless anybody else has any other questions, I'm probably going to sign off for the night. And we're going to have a video out tomorrow, and we'll get that video out. We're going to do a walk around of our conveyor. I've had a lot of people inquire about our conveyor where it's homemade, and we're going to have a walkthrough of that, go over it, because there's a couple of guys that say they have the same conveyor and it doesn't travel nearly as fast. So we'll give a little rundown of that, see what's going on with that, see if we can figure out what it is, and then we'll go from there. But I will see you guys on the next one. And remember, if you haven't done so yet, 515 Homesteaders is just getting started. Let's go over and show them some love, see what we can do to get their channel growing. And again, some of these other channels out here, Shotlift Family Firewood, Foothills Firewood, Len's Keeping Busy. If you haven't gone over and seen any of these guys, go on over, check them out. And we'll see you guys live again on Friday when we've got a big, mean green machine, and we'll go from there. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.